Hello, everybody, and welcome to Episode 6 of the Two Generations, One Mic podcast. Thank you guys for all the support on all the episodes up to this point. We really hope you guys have enjoyed. We have a lot of good talking points today, like the Grammys and a lot of stuff going on in sports news today and a bunch of other different topics. Again, we really hope you guys enjoy today's episode. Please make sure to like and subscribe before you get too deep in and you forget. Check out the description at the end of today's episode so you guys can see all of our social medias and so you guys can send us your pet pictures at the end of the episode. Again, thank you guys all so much for being here, and we really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Episode 6 of the Two Generations, One Mic podcast. Again, thank you guys all so much for being here for the 6th episode of our podcast. Dad, you want to go ahead and say anything?
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Right off the bat, we want to just give you guys a little bit of an update on our lives, of course, as we usually start the episodes, and then we're going to go ahead and give you guys an overview of the episode today after we do that. But, we just want to thank you guys all so much for being here, and thank you guys for all the support on the podcast so far. We couldn't believe, just our 5th episode has, 70 views in just 4 days, so, we're so appreciative of all the people that keep coming back and watching the episodes, and, we've gotten 20 subscribers in just the last week, so we appreciate all you guys for watching out there, and thank you guys for listening as well.
Yeah, very much so. Appreciate it very much. So, we're gonna do a little something special again, a little something different. I really like to let you just talk and kind of take this one. I've just noticed I've been taking up a lot of airtime, in the past. I do tend to drift off into some, different things, but
that's what editing is for, folks.
Well, because we're going to talk about the Grammys,
right? Yeah, and we have a lot of things we're going to we want to talk about the Grammys and a lot of the winners and things that happened at the Grammys that I might be aware of that you may not, and then of course, some people may know about the Luka Doncic trade and a lot of trades that are going on in the NBA. And, of course, we got the Super Bowl coming up. So we want to talk about some sports a little bit. And I'm a little bit more into sports, in the sports world than my dad is. So, and then more towards the end of the episode, we want to talk about our siblings, of course, because my dad has multiple siblings that we want to talk about. And then, of course, my sister.
That I know about. Just two that I know of.
Yeah, right. And then my sister, of course, who we're planning on having in a future episode very soon, actually. So hear more about that at the end of the episode. Once again, thank you guys all so much for all the submissions of pet pictures. You guys can see those at the end of the episode today because we have a bunch more to get out there. So just look for information at the end of the episode on how you guys can send us pictures of your pets, and we'll make sure to throw them in at the end of the episode. So, without further ado, let's just get right into the episode. So, I want to ask you first, of course, since I'm taking over. So, how's work been this week? How's life, since the last episode been?
Oh, everything's fine. We had a good week. Any day I can get up and go to work, I feel blessed. So, things are going real well. Here, we had our first couple shows, and we're... I
was going to ask, are you guys back fully up and operating at the theater? Everything's back and open?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
We never really shut down. We just regrouped for the new season.
That's awesome.
For 2025. So everything's good. I don't have as interesting of life as you do right now.
Right, yeah, I'm just
let
busy.
Me ask you, how's it going?
Good. I'm in my I think it's my 4th week of classes now. I'm taking statistics, algebra, a bunch of different types. I've taken my first criminal justice class. I know we've talked about that on the past few episodes. But I got my first check last week. I'm making a little money now, thank the Lord. It's my 3rd week of work now. It's pretty tough, but I can only work the closing shift because of classes and stuff. But it's been pretty, challenging trying to go to class in the mornings, go to class through the whole day. And then the second I go to class at 2:30. I get out of that class at 4, and then I have work. I got to be there at 4 until 8 o'clock at night. So it's been challenging, but it's good to have a challenge because work is only going to get tougher from here, and that's life. There's nothing I can do about that.
Not to mention you have a girlfriend, so
Yeah, right, of course, and that's a struggle too. Trying me and Alyssa's just starting a new job this week as well. On Tuesday,
really?
Actually, she's going to start working at Sephora. She'll fit right in there. She's so excited about it, so I know she's happy.
What is that?
Sephora, it's just like a makeup store, a little makeup outlet store. She's really excited. She loves everything about makeup, and they get a little thing called gratis every month. It's like every month after you've been there for long enough, you get a bag of new merchandise that they're going to sell, so you guys can like recommend it to more people that, you know, shop and stuff. So they really take care of their employees, so she's excited to start working there, and she's going to be making more than me now.
Cool, man.
Yeah, so we're excited, and but yeah, it's gonna be challenging to, like, you know, find time for me and her with classes and work, you know, trying to fit in some time for just us and, you know, for the dog and, you know, just to hang out. But, you know, we make it work, and we always have found time for each other. And, you know, we went out just the other day, you know, because I went and got her some presents, and I took her out that night, and we're going to go out here.
Tell me a little bit about that. You told me earlier, we were talking on the phone, and you showed me a picture.
Yeah, we went out to eat it.
You guys didn't get to have Christmas?
No, so me and Alyssa had a job for Christmas. She was working at Forever Pets, where we found our dog, Sylvia, and I didn't have a job at the time, so I had no money to buy Christmas presents. So me and Alyssa just agreed that we were going to do what we call Valen Christmas time, or Valen Christman time, whatever we call it, you know. So it's kind of like a combination, and we're just going to get each other Christmas presents for Valentine's Day because, you know, we couldn't afford to get each other Christmas presents at the time. So right now we still have the tree set up in February in the living room. Right now we have presents all under the tree, and we're going to open them next Saturday because I'm probably going to work on that Friday of Valentine's Day. But yeah, I went and got her presents the other day.
Idea.
Yeah, it's fun, you know. I mean, just something else to do in February other than just Valentine's. So we're gonna put them together. We're still gonna have our little Valentine's. So I'm gonna take her out on Valentine's Day. We're talking about maybe going to the zoo the day after or something. So we'll have a fun time for Valentine's. But yeah, I took her out the other day. Whenever I went and got her Christmas presents.
You should shoot a picture up.
Yeah, no, I'll show you guys videos of the date and stuff. I just called her whenever I was getting her Christmas presents, and I was like, "Hey, you want to go out tonight?" And she was like, "Yeah, where are we going?" And I was like, "I'll tell you whenever we get there." And I took her to Show Guns, and we spent a little money on dinner, but it's worth it whenever I'm taking my girl out, so it's always fun.
How very romantic.
Yeah. Well,
that's cool, son.
Yeah, so life has just been, you know, busy for me. I don't have much coming up soon other than next week. You know, of course, we have all the Valentine's motions, and next Wednesday I have a big test in class, but other than that, just, you know, making it through classes, trying to fit the podcast into the time as well, and we're making it all work.
Have you been keeping up with anything, current events this past week?
Not recently. I mean, I've seen a lot about these plane crashes recently, but I think that it's just because, like, you know, these little small planes, they tend to crash a lot more often than you hear about. Not this often, but, you know, they do happen a lot more than you would think, and it's just because, like, plane crashes are so big in the news right now that a lot of these big news outlets are picking it up, and they're, you know, saying something about every single one right now, but yeah, it is still a little nerve-wracking because, like, there's been a lot of plane crashes recently. I think there was another one in San Diego or something like that recently.
It's hard to keep up with this week.
Yeah, there's been which is really confusing. I mean, when have you ever, you know, had to think about that? There's been this many plane crashes, but, you know, we'll just leave it up to the wind, and eventually we'll hear about it.
Yeah, I know that people who listen to us, you know, are well-informed people, so it's not like we're going over anything new. I'm sure over the past couple of days, you know, you guys have heard about everything that's going on.
Right, of course. I mean, everybody has. Everybody does.
Just a whirlwind of news this past week. I almost really don't want to.
Really, these past 2 months, it's been pretty nuts.
Yeah. You know,
there's just so many things going on.
I kind of wanted to not talk about current events this week. And, you know, like you said, do something frivolous. Well, we talked about music last week, and
right, and I think we are going to do that this week. Other than the fact we're going to touch on the Grammys and the trades, of course. Like, I mean, I think we're kind of stepping away from our usual episode, and we're going to do something a little more, you know, loose and less about current events and more serious this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just been so hard. The news has been really hard.
Oh yeah, there's just been a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, that's for sure.
Past couple of weeks. So yeah, but you know, we talked about family last week. We talked about music, kind of frivolous things and things that influenced us. And
yeah, growing up, all like the music we listen to and things we listen to now. And then make sure you guys go check out episode 5 if you haven't already.
Yeah, so I really do want to, you know, talk about the Grammys because, like, when I was, and we don't have to talk about it now, but when I was a kid, the Grammys were a pretty big deal.
Yeah, this was the 67th annual Grammy.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was the 67th. And, you know, I was thinking about it whenever me and Alyssa were watching it. I'll be like 52 whenever the 100th one happens. I was thinking about that's crazy.
Okay, go back 37 years or 40 years when I was in high school or in my early 20s. So that would have been like the 30th Grammys. So I guess that sounds about right, because, it's weird to think about the Super Bowl coming up, too, and it's like, what is it, like 59?
I think it is. And it's so sad because that means it's almost been 10 years since the Carolina Panthers went to the Super Bowl. They went to Super Bowl 50. It's so sad to think about. But we'll be back soon.
I know you're a big Panther fan.
Oh yeah, that's my team. Loyal through it all. No, yeah, but I do. Let's go ahead.
I do the same thing with the Cowboys. Through it all.
Oh Lord, yeah. Well, speaking of Dallas teams, I mean, we're gonna get into that this week about some Dallas talk that I'm a little upset about. But let's go ahead and get into the Grammy talk a little bit.
Okay, yeah, and then we'll talk sports.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I was a kid, the Grammys were a big deal, and it was all the big stars then. Michael Jackson, and Prince, and things like that, and Madonna, and to me it seemed like such a big deal because I was in the business, and entertainment business or whatever, and I played music on the radio for a living.
Right, yeah, so I mean, you listen to this stuff all day.
Was it a big deal to you guys, or all your?
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that that's it's a huge deal to a lot of people in my generation, but like people that really care about music or people that are fans of the people that get nominated definitely are. And Alyssa was a fan of a lot of people, and I like to watch the Grammys just to see who wins and stuff. But Alyssa really likes the two girls, Chappell Rowan and Sabrina Carpenter. They really came out in music this year, and Sabrina Carpenter actually started on Disney Channel. Dad, she used to be on a lot of shows me and Gabby watched as kids. And now she's doing really good in music. And this girl, Chappell Rowan, she's come out of nowhere in the past 2 years. And she's been doing music her whole life, but she's really just blown up. And Alyssa's really gotten me into them because Alyssa listens to them all day. And, I mean, their music is pretty good. You got to give them their credit. But I really want to talk about all the people that won Grammys this year. And then I also want to talk about some awkward moments that kind of happened at the Grammys because there were a couple of them. So the Grammys was streamed.
So who won?
Okay, well,
now, I'm just saying because I'm not under a rock. I do know who Sabrina Carpenter is.
Right.
She's shaking that S for Dunkin' Donuts, right?
yeah, something like that.
I mean, I guess I've seen her and I've seen a couple of videos.
Right.
Of her.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have her music or anything, but I do know of her. I've heard of some of these people. I'm
right. Well, first of all, if we're gonna talk about winners, if we're gonna talk about the winners right off the bat, we have got to mention Kendrick Lamar. He's a rapper. He's been in the game for a long time now. He's been one of my favorite rappers for a very long time. Over this past year, a lot of people may know that him and another popular rapper named Drake were actually like having a little bit of an internet beef with each other, and they were kind of going back and forth in their songs a little bit. So basically, Kendrick Lamar made a song in response to Drake, and then Drake made another song about Kendrick Lamar. And 5 minutes after Drake released that song, Kendrick Lamar released another song called Not Like Us, and that song won 5 Grammys alone at the Grammys this year.
Wow.
That song cleaned out of like, I think it's like 11 awards, it won 5.
How's it go?
Well, I mean, I don't know how it goes, but I would say I'll play you guys a clip, but I'm sure it's copyrighted. But go ahead and listen to it. It's no singer, I'm no rapper, but it's Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. It's really popular. I'm sure you've heard it. Go listen to the first 10 seconds of it, you'll know it. But he won 5. He won 5 Grammys this year, and I mean, I think he won Best Music Video, Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, Best Rap Song of the Year, and he won something else. But he cleaned house. I mean, he took one of the pictures with all 5 Grammys in his arms, and he had a little bit of an awkward moment himself because Miley Cyrus actually announced one of his awards, and Miley Cyrus, before she announced the award, Beyonce was there in attendance, and she said, "Beyonce, even if it isn't you, I'm going to say it to you anyway." And she said it kind of as a joke, and Kendrick Lamar had won, and she said Kendrick Lamar, and then whenever he got up there, he kind of snatched the award from her because man, what are you talking about? Don't discredit what I've done, It's just because and that kind of adds to the conspiracy. 6 months ago, everybody was saying that. Everybody's kind of realizing that everybody thanks Beyonce at all these music awards and stuff, and, Miley Cyrus just added another one. But that's another big thing that I wanted to talk about at the Grammys was Beyonce is, not only was she late to get there, she walked in late, in the middle of the Grammys, but she won her first ever Album of the Year. That's the only Grammy she has never won, which was an Album of the Year. and I think that it is complete and utter bullcrap. I think that it is so crazy. She's never won one, and I cannot believe that she's never won one for any of her albums up to this point, and she won it for this album. It was for her album Cowboy Carter, and she released her first ever country album, and I could not name you one song off of that album besides the main one, and it's awful. This is...
Hey, but you know, a lot of people loved it. And
no discredit to be... Hey, but you know what's crazy? She won a Grammy, and the Grammy that, she won Best Country Album of the Year or whatever, so Album of the Year. She didn't even get nominated at the Country Music Awards for one award.
I know.
So, yeah. That's just... it's a slap in the face to country, honestly. But, that's what I mean is, all of the Beyonce songs, all of the Beyonce albums she's released so far, and she won it for this one because there was one good song. The song was catchy, but no discredit to Beyonce. Beyonce's great, but...
listen to her whole album?
I've heard a couple songs, but it's nothing good, do you think that her country album should have won Album of the Year at the Grammys if she wasn't even nominated for a country music award?
Man, don't you know it's probably all
I'm sure her husband Jay-Z paid for her to get her last Grammy.
Not to diminish anything that Beyonce's done.
Of course, yeah.
But you know what I mean. I just feel like even Eminem won't go to
Yeah, that's true. And I've heard about that, because he says that it's all rigged and stuff. And I don't blame him at all, because I'm sure there's things that he should have won and he didn't. And I don't know the whole story behind that. But another thing just like that, Dad, is one of the most popular guys in the world, #1 on Spotify in the entire world, The Weeknd. He actually performed at the Grammys this week, and he said that he would never attend the Grammys again 4 years ago, and he actually returned this year just because, he, I guess, made up with them.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but...
I feel like it's all, like we talked about last week with country music, it all sounds like it's made up in the boardroom by, 6 different writers.
And that's exactly what Beyonce sounds like.
I feel like it's all pretty scripted.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the messages that are sent out, and everything's pretty well hashed out in advance, and nothing. A lot of it, although it looks like it's for shock value,
yeah, right,
it really is just trying to stay relevant, and,
right.
Like Beyonce or not, hey, she's talented, man.
That's true. She is. No discredit. No discredit. You're absolutely right.
No, she's got the strings and the pull, and she's one of the richest, most successful people in the world right now. And
whatever. Let her win. She won. Nothing we can do about it now.
That song, whatever that was, the one single that
it was Texas Hold'em.
Yeah,
you're saying Texas ain't no Hold'em. That's terrible.
See, I don't go out to the clubs anymore, so you know what I mean. So to me, I heard it.
Well, I don't either. Well, I just want to say that since we already mentioned these two girls, Chappell Rowan did win a Grammy. She won. I think it was New Artist of the Year, something like that, because she's the best new artist coming up this year. And I was glad that she won because she's one of Alyssa's favorite from this year. And then Sabrina Carpenter, of course, won Song of the Year with her song Espresso. I'm sure you've all have heard. That's why she got that. Yep. That's why she got that deal with Duncan, because of her song Espresso. And then another big person that won this year, I think massive credit to her. She's doing amazing things. Not like she'll ever hear this, but it's a female rapper named Doechii. She's the third ever female rapper, or third ever black female rapper to ever win Rap Album of the Year. And she's only Lauryn Hill and Cardi B has ever won that, so that's a pretty big podium to stand on, and Doechii won that this year, and she had a great album, and she won Rap Album of the Year, and like I said, she's only one of 3 people to ever do that.
Now, do you like that kind of music?
Actually, Alyssa actually had me listen to her last night, and she has some really good music. She's a pretty good rapper, and she likes to, she has the rhythm and likes to do little 2-bar rhymes and stuff, and she's a really good rapper. You guys should go check her out. It's Doechii.
That's different from Doja Cat.
Oh yeah. She's basically fallen off the planet now, I guess.
So what else? What else happened at the Grammys? I didn't watch it. So.
So one of the mishaps kind of that happened was, I don't know if you guys know Kanye or whatever. Of course, everybody knows Kanye, but his wife, her name is something Sensori. It's a new lady. I don't know. I don't exactly know her, but they've been together for a while now, and she's known, and Kanye also is known for their very drastic fashion choices, and of course, they pulled up to the Grammys, and they were actually uninvited from the Grammys and came anyway. Kanye was dressed all in black, of course, in his usual outfit. I'll show you guys a picture. And then his wife was wearing a completely see-through short dress that you could see everything. Like, everything from top to bottom, and everything was completely see-through. And yeah, they were escorted out about 15 minutes after they arrived and made it down the red carpet.
Yeah, but see, I heard, I heard that. I didn't see, I think, yes, I saw some blurred pictures, and I heard that.
Yeah.
I was like, but then I heard that he was invited, and that was all kind of like...
Well, he was, his song Carnival, I actually really like Kanye. Carnival was nominated for one of the Grammys that Not Like Us was nominated for, and he was invited, but that's why I said he was uninvited. He was uninvited, and then he showed up anyway.
I did see that, and so she came in her birthday suit.
Right? Yeah, that's so crazy.
But like I said, man, I really think that's all.
For shock factor and stuff.
Yeah,
attention.
And I think it's all pretty scripted, so that people will be talking about it being the water cooler the next day.
Right.
Talk.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I want to talk about, of course, is this girl named Charlie XCX. Another girl that Alyssa really liked. She's just another little kind of pop girl. She's actually from the UK. She's killing it over there. She's doing way better over there than she is over here. But, I mean, she's killing it in the USA, too. But I don't exactly remember which award she won, but she did also win a Grammy. And I believe that's all the people that won one, but I could be mistaken. And then there were so many performances, and, Chappell Rowan and Sabrina Carpenter did perform, and they both also won a Grammy, and Charlie XCX also performed. So it was a really great show. It streamed on Paramount Plus, and me and Alyssa only got to see, the red carpet in the beginning of it, because you actually had to pay to see the full show. But, I mean, I just kept up with the winners as the night went on, and we saw the videos and stuff. But it was a really good Grammys and stuff. I mean, not much missed. You guys could just catch it all right here.
I didn't know that you had to pay for it like that.
Yeah, me either. They said that it was streaming on Paramount, and we were watching it, and then at one point in the broadcast or whatever, it just started playing 60 Minutes, and I was like, what the heck? This isn't the Grammys anymore. This is 60 Minutes. What are we watching?
I think I'd rather watch Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yeah, and then we went and looked, and yeah, you had to pay for some special service or whatever. But for any Billie Eilish fans out there, just real quick, if anybody likes Billie Eilish, she released an album this year as well, and she didn't win anything at the Grammys this year. A lot of people think that she was robbed. She was nominated for 6 or 7 Grammys, and as the night went on, there were a bunch of pictures of her, and as awards she was nominated for got announced, you could see in her face she got less and less happy, and by the last 3, she's almost, and then way more, and then she's breaking down, and it's terrible. She had a really great album this year and a great song. Her song is Birds of a Feather. I'm sure you all have heard it if you want to go listen to that as well. But yeah, she didn't win any Grammys this year, but shout out to her. She did an amazing job as well. So.
Well, it's just not my kind of, I don't know. I don't even want to listen to new music.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it's so big nowadays. On TikTok, there's a new sound every day, and we're like, ooh, I kind of like this sound. Let me use it in my video. What's this actual sound? What's the song it comes from? And TikTok is mass spread of songs and stuff, but we always love to share songs at school or in between people, and songs are just music is just such a big thing in this generation for sure, and all keeping up with all the celebrities and what they do, and their lifestyles is a huge thing for a lot of people in our generation.
Yeah, and it was for me too. But I guess in the same way with sports, I just didn't. I just fell out of it.
I guess I'm just now falling into it.
Well, once you guys were born, I didn't have as much time for it.
Of course.
Leisure time to watch sports. But let me tell you, the Super Bowl's coming up.
Yeah, the Super Bowl's coming up we can talk about that right now. The Super Bowl's coming up in 4 days on this Sunday, actually. It's going to be the Chiefs versus the Eagles. Who do you got that? I know you don't watch much NFL, but just go ahead and make your predictions. We can come back and talk about them next week.
I know a lot of people that do and that are really into it up here where I work,
and I know our family's big into it. Our Uncle Doug and Granny Joe is big Chiefs supporters.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I know Uncle Doug and Granny Joe and Miss Bob and Deb are big Chiefs fans, and, I don't hate the Chiefs, but I think I'm rooting for the Chiefs this year just because, nobody's ever three-peated in a Super Bowl, and although I don't like the Chiefs that much because I don't like a winner, I like the underdog, I would like to see somebody go and three-peat, and Patrick Mahomes went to the high school in White House 10 minutes down the road from where I'm staying at college. So
well, that's right. That's what I was going to say.
yeah,
I didn't know
it'd be, and I mean, that's an hour and a half from our hometown, so it'd be just pretty cool to see him three-peat in the Super Bowl.
Uncle Doug, his son, my nephew, Zane, I thought he and Patrick Mahomes went to school together.
They did, my cousin Zane, he actually played on the same football team as Patrick Mahomes in high school. I remember hearing that story before.
I think it was something like that. They knew each other anyway.
Yeah, my Uncle Doug, go ahead, y'all have to look down in the comments. My Uncle Doug will correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah, that's kind of why all of our people back home are, big Chiefs fans. Yeah. Everybody likes the winner, And I love the underdog too, but, I got something against the Philadelphia Eagles from way back.
Right, and I mean, the Eagles and the Cowboys are in the same division, of course, so I get that. But
however, I'm living a little closer to Philadelphia now, so you know what it is now? I just like to watch good plays.
Oh yeah,
I like to see good plays.
And there's plenty of that in modern day NFL. There's so many good plays.
Well, I'm gonna probably watch the Super Bowl if I can.
Yeah, you definitely should. I think it's going to be streaming for free on Tubi if you want to check it out.
Yeah, just can't order any Chinese food.
Yeah, I think me and Alyssa are going to go pick up some Buffalo Wild Wings and some drinks, and we'll just stay in for the night. Not any alcoholic drinks.
They're not accepting anything from China.
Right. Well, while we're kind of on the topic of sports, I just wanted to, of course, mention some NBA things that happened this week. You guys know I mentioned it at the very beginning of the episode. Of course, the biggest trade in NBA in maybe the past 20 years happened this weekend, and it is just heartbreaking for any Dallas Mavericks or Texas fans, and really just any NBA fans, because, I mean, the NBA just got a big hit this week. So I don't remember the guy's name, but there's a guy by the name of, they call him Shams, and he's kind of like Adam Schefter. Like, the second some news breaks in the NBA, he posted on Twitter, posted on Instagram, and I was on TikTok and about 11 o'clock at night on Sunday, and I saw some news that my favorite player on the Dallas Mavericks, the Luka Doncic, had been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, and it makes me die just having to say that into this microphone right now. And, it's just really, really tough time for Dallas Mavericks fans right now. Luka was traded for Anthony Davis off of the Los Angeles Lakers for a 2029 first-round pick and a rookie named Max Christie, who he played his first game last night, and he scored about 15 points, so he looks like he's going to be pretty good. But, man, it's just a big hit to the Mavericks. I mean, Luka has been our franchise player since we drafted him in 2018. Whenever we drafted him in 2018, he won Rookie of the Year. He's played in the league for the past 6 years, and he's won 5 All-Stars, 5 All-NBA awards. I mean, and the only reason he doesn't have a 6th is because this is his 6th season. And everybody that's a fan of the Dallas Mavericks right now, I think that not only did they just trade away Luka Doncic, but I think they just traded away half their fan base because, I mean, that's serious. I mean, Luka he's the whole reason I was a fan of the team. And, I mean, they have some great players on that team, and I think they're still going to go far. But, I mean, honestly, I think I'm a Lakers fan now because I've been telling everybody they could have offered us LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and a first-round pick, and I don't think I ever would have given up Luka Doncic because he's 25 years old in the middle of his prime, and we traded him for a center that is 31 years old, and he has a glass ankle.
Wow.
He was supposed to play his first game yesterday, and he's already hurt, and he's out for a week because of an abdominal strain.
Wow, you know a lot more about it these days than I do.
I'm so enthused by sports. I know everything about it, and especially this whole Luka thing because it's just heartbreaking. I mean, he wanted to be in Dallas for the rest of his career. There should have been a statue in front of American Airlines Stadium, just like Dirk Nowitzki.
Right.
And I mean, he wanted to win us champions.
Because let me tell you, Ethan, you should probably look into their real legacy as well, because back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, I know all about Dirk and Jason Kidd.
I'm sorry?
I said I know all about Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd.
Even before that, man, they really put up some really good runs, against the Lakers and the Detroit Pistons,
right,
and the Boston Celtics and whatever. Back in the day when they had Donaldson and they acquired some really good people.
Yeah, too bad the Celtics were dominating too bad.
Yeah, and the Mavericks, man, they were right up there. I mean, and you can look into it. They went, to the finals several times. They were a really good team back then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got a history of being really good. I mean, when you're in Dallas got a lot of money, and, they always have.
Yeah, and something really about this trade is the general manager and the general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers, they've been working together behind the scenes for like the past 4 weeks, they said in a press conference the day after the trade released. And the general manager of the Mavericks said that he didn't tell anybody about it. Not a single player knew, not even Luka. None of the coaches knew, not even the head coach. And the only person that knew on the Lakers, not even the people that were being traded, was the general manager. And Luka Doncic just closed on a house, a $15 million house a week ago.
Yeah, he can still live there.
Well, yeah, in the offseason, of course, but that's so sad. They've been working on this for 4 weeks, and he couldn't even tell him while he was closing on a house a week ago. And, there's a press conference, and I'll go ahead and show you guys a picture right now.
That's great.
There was a press conference with the general manager and the head coach after the trade was announced, and the general manager was the only one talking, and he said, I don't even have to ask the head coach what he wants. We already know what each other wants in a player. We're on the same game plan. We want the same archetype for our team, so I already know what he wants without even having to ask him. And during the whole interview, the coach is just sitting there blank face, you can tell he's thinking of Luka montages in his mind. Like, he's just thinking, God, what did we let go of?
Oh, man.
And, Mark Cuban last year, he just sold his majority hold of the team. So, Mark Cuban never would have let that happen. And there's a lot of reasons why people think that Luka did get traded, and I don't care what any of the reasons are. I mean, I think that Luka's a generational talent, and we made a huge mistake trading him away.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, the people think that the reason that we traded him is because he's hit 280 pounds now, and his conditioning is getting worse, and he is a point guard. But the man is 6'8". I mean, it evens out. Like, the man is not that big, guys. He's 6'8", and he's a point guard. Like, you want a big point guard that can bully somebody in the paint, and he can shoot a 3-point from the logo. Like, I don't give a damn if he's 400 pounds. If he's averaging 40 points a game and a triple-double every other night, we're keeping him.
No, apparently not.
Apparently not. And you know what? That's so sad because, think about all the other players on the Mavericks. Luka Doncic was the greatest player on our team, and Kyrie Irving, another great player. His contract is up at the end of this year. How does any other player on the Mavericks feel knowing that the greatest player on our team just got traded? None of us are safe.
I can see you feel pretty strongly about it, son.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm mad. I told Alyssa the day after it happened, the morning we woke up, I was like, hey, we need to go to American Airlines Center right now because I guarantee you there's going to be fans out there. And all day I saw crowds and crowds of people outside of the arena, and I was like, dude, I wish I was there. Because I've been to 3 Mavericks games. I went to go see the Mavericks versus the Golden State Warriors last year with my mom, and it was a great game. And I got to see Stephen Curry and the big 3 in Golden State before they split up, and I got to see Luka Doncic. Thank God I got to go see Luka play and Kyrie and everybody on that team. And Luka literally took us to the finals last year. Even though we didn't win, he took us to the finals. And, thank God I got to see that team play, the finals year. But, why trade away the guy that just took us to the finals, He just scored 70 points in a game last year.
It's so weird because I remember you always kind of being into basketball, and I don't know why. What was it, Clippers? The LA Clippers were your team?
I was always into the Warriors whenever I was little because me and my best friend Tripp used to always watch the finals at his house whenever we were little, whenever they were, it's only Cleveland versus the Golden State from 2014 all the way to 2017.
Yeah.
But whenever I grew up more,
the Clippers, it's the LA Clippers.
Yeah, they have a bunch of teams. They have the Lakers, the Clippers, the Golden State Warriors, you name it, the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, you were a Clipper. A Warriors.
A Warriors fan, yeah. But as I grew up, Mom used to have a husband, and he liked the Dallas Cowboys, so I tended to stay away from any Dallas team. I hated any Dallas team. But as I grew older, I kind of started to realize, hey, I can actually kind of like this basketball team that's close to me, so I can actually go to some games and not like an NFL team in Carolina.
Well, what about other sports? Dallas has some really good teams. The hockey.
Well, right, yeah. I've never been big into hockey, but it's just because I've never had anybody really introduce me to it like all the other sports.
Yeah, I know your Uncle Darren kind of likes the Stars.
Oh yeah, I know there's a big fan base for hockey and stuff.
Yeah, I've never been a fan either, but I watched the Stars too, casually over the years.
Right. Well, Dad, do you want to go ahead and talk about, since you mentioned him, do you want to go ahead and talk about your brother Darren and my Uncle Doug, your brother Doug?
You know what? Let's save it for another time. We talked about family last week, so
okay.
We'll save it for another time because I want to get your sister on too. She's going to be on next week's show, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to have a little meeting this week, of course, a little family meeting, and get a plan nailed together, and we're definitely going to get a show with Gabby in here next week, so make sure you guys turn on post notifications right next to the subscribe button so you guys can see episode 7 next Friday.
Yeah, I'll talk about my brothers a little bit, and you can talk about your sister, and maybe we'll bring up some memories of our siblings.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do a little update on the Super Bowl as well, because this will be after the Super Bowl, and, a little recap on the NFL season.
So we never did say, who are you going for?
Like I said, I think I'm going to go for the Chiefs this year, just because, I want the three-peat to happen. And I love the Eagles, Saquon Barkley. I'm so glad he's gotten out of New York, and he's got this new team, and I'm sure he'll win Offensive Player of the Year this year at the awards in a week, and they deserve so much credit as well. But I don't think there's an underdog in this Super Bowl this year because both of their final records are, I think the Chiefs are 17-1, and I think the Eagles are 17-2 or something like that. So
wow,
there's not really, it's really even. And we just saw this Super Bowl 2 years ago, and we already saw what happened. So we'll see.
And you know what? I've seen some highlights, as they got into the playoffs, and I've kind of followed the Eagles. I'm going to go against the family. And I'm going to say the Eagles. I'll do the Eagle. I'll go for the Eagles. You go for the Chiefs, and we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
I'll bet you $1.
Okay, well, I'll bet you $1. All
right, we'll see.
Hey, and then anybody, make sure you guys, I'm going to go ahead and pop it up on screen right now, just like we do in all of our episodes. Make sure you guys submit your pet pictures if you guys have any pets, dogs, cats, gerbils, snakes, rats, hamsters, whatever you got. Just make sure you guys send us pictures of them so we can put them in at the end of the episode. So just so we can kind of involve you guys more in the episodes, just so you guys will kind of stick around to the end. Make sure you guys can see all the pets at the end of the episode because we'll have some at the end of this episode as well. And if you guys missed it,
I didn't mention too because I don't think we've done this much over the past couple of episodes, but we'd like to hear comments from everyone. If you can, either comment at the bottom of our YouTube link or any of the links
right below the subscribe button. Yep.
Or you can, if you're friends with us on Facebook or Messenger, just send us an IM, or whatever private message and let us know that you're listening, and send us some of your comments on things that you want to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
Subjects that we can talk about in the near future.
Yeah, we would love for that. So, anybody watching this episode, just right now, while you're listening, we'll give you guys about 10 seconds. Just make sure you guys go down below in the comment section and let us know any topics you guys want to hear. If you guys are enjoying the show, or like I said in last week's episode, let us know what your favorite episode has been up to this point, because we're really enjoying doing this, and we can tell that you guys are too, judging by how much reception we're getting. So, like we said, we really just appreciate all you guys for watching, and like he said, make sure to just message us or, let us know in the comments if you guys are enjoying it.
Your pick for the Super Bowls,
Yeah, of course, yeah. Let us know for your picks for the Super Bowl as well, and let us know who your favorite teams are. And oh my gosh, and as big of a fan as I am, if there's anybody else out there mad about the Luka trade, let me know how you feel about it down below. Because we literally talked about it in criminal justice class the other day. Like, it's a big thing. It's happening. Yeah.
Is it against the law in some states or something?
Well, no, it's just at the beginning of every class, my professor, we have a really cool professor, Professor Ferguson, shout out if you're listening. He always, at the beginning of every class, asks us if there's anything criminal justice related or anything we want to talk about. And, this week, actually, we had a student mention that, we do this for a reason, because this week, a student mentioned that Kilgore PD this past week made a drug bust, and it was I think it was 38 ounces of meth and I think it was 18 pounds of weed and 3 pounds of psilocybin mushrooms and 3 other types of drugs and 5 grams of a powdery substance. They made a giant drug bust this weekend. So if anybody knows anybody from Kilgore PD, great work to them, because that's a lot of drugs that they just got.
Wow, and you guys discuss that?
Yeah, it's just, we don't really necessarily discuss it. We just talk a little bit about what happened and what's going on. And then one of the students last week, whenever this happened, I think this was on Monday. He was this isn't necessarily criminal justice related, but this should be criminally investigated because this is just awful. He started talking about, he was like, have you heard about Luka? And I was just, oh my God, yes, I'm so mad. And then, like, 4 of the boys in the class started talking about it and how, like, we literally traded away the heart of our franchise and, like, how they just ruined half the fan base and stuff. Like, Dad, they've literally had to turn off comments on their Instagram right now because that's the only thing people are talking about.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
you can imagine the sports radio talk shows in Dallas are.
Oh yeah, I mean the front page of the Dallas Morning News the day after that was, we had him right in our hands.
Oh wow.
It's sad, Dad. It's a really big thing, and I mean, people are calling for the GM to be fired, and I mean, he's fumbled stuff like this before. Back in 2013, he was actually a head advisor at Nike, and back then, Steph Curry was signing deals for shoe companies and stuff, and Steph Curry was supposed to sign a really massive deal with Nike, and Nico Harrison, the Mavericks general manager then. He actually denied him it, so Steph Curry went on to work with Under Armour, and he signed him a 10-year, $1 billion contract. And
it sounds like he's the coach. I mean, general manager is the Jerry Jones of.
Yes, that's what people are saying. Some people, what a lot of people have been joking about is, Jerry Jones might not be the worst GM in Dallas anymore.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
And this is. I think we'll go ahead and leave the episode at this. But just this is the real reason I think that Luka got traded is his contract was up at the end of this year, and he was available for what's called a supermax extension contract, which is just. He can make the max amount of money on his contract because of how well he's performed. And he was set to make $345 million next year.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
What do you do with all that money? I mean, what can you – well, I guess you buy a house in Dallas and one out in L.A. too.
I mean, he wanted to be he was a Texan. He was a Texan for life. I mean, he was asked in an interview a month ago, what do you have to say to fans that are worried about you leaving one day? And he was like, I don't think they have to ever worry about that. And he's just a kid from Slovenia. He was 18 6 years ago. He's just a kid, he's in his prime. I'm so upset, but
I think I saw a meme of yours the other day. What, do you have a bunch of his shirts, or was that some guy?
Oh, that was just one of the TikToks I posted. I'll go ahead and show you guys a picture of what he's talking about right now. It's just I mean, Dad, I'll have to pop up pictures of all the people's reactions on the episode because I mean, there's just people laying out all their jerseys and posters and stuff in front of American Airlines Center, and people are really upset.
I hope you and Billie Eilish get some help.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish. What's her name?
Billie Eilish. No, it's Billie Eilish.
I know, Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
I hope that both of you get some therapeutic help this week, and you're going to be okay for next week's show.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll be all right. We'll be back for week 7, of course.
Okay, but I love you. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, thank you guys.
I'm really glad that this episode you kind of took the reins because I really did. I didn't watch the Grammys. I don't keep up with basketball. I'm barely into the football thing. Well,
I hope that a lot of you at home enjoyed listening to me talk more today, and you guys enjoyed some of the topics that we had to talk about. But yeah, thank you guys all so much. Thank you guys all so much for watching episode 6. Make sure you guys turn on notifications by the subscribe button so you guys can see when we post episode 7 next week. Again, watch at the end of the episode for the pet pictures. Your pet might be in there, and I'll put the email at the end just in case you missed it, or you can message us on Facebook, all your pet pictures. And then check the description down below for all of our social medias as well. And don't forget to leave a like and all your comments, and do all the jazz down below at the end of the episode, guys.
All right, I love you, son, and we'll see all you guys next time.
Love you too, Dad. Thanks for the episode.